Where are the patterns showing up in your life that are not serving you? Is it in your relationships? Are you attracting people that the same people over and over again, but it's easy to point fingers at them instead of kind of taking on some of that ownership? How about your health and fitness? How many times you started over with the New Year's resolution? I'll start Monday, right? Hey, I'm with you. I was right in there with all of those. I call it the Oprah up and down. No offense to Oprah, but with bodybuilding, I would in my off season, I would balloon up to weights that were ridiculous, and then I would peel it all off for bodybuilding shows. And then in relationships, like I said, attracting partners that had similar qualities and traits and habits and blaming it on them and realizing that I was inviting that into my life. But why? I didn't need a new plan. I didn't need a new girlfriend. I didn't need another wife. I didn't need that wouldn't solve my problems. The problem was I needed to shift my identity. And that's what I'm going to help you with today. So we're going to go over in this video today what identity shifting is, how it is done, and how it's going to serve you. So my name's Kerry. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and where we talk about all things mindset, motivation, and manifesting, and how to use those to level up in every area of your life to become the best version of you. So today we're digging in. All right, about identity shifting. Now, identity shifting is the process of intentionally changing your self-concept, the way you see yourself, the things that you believe about yourself, and what you believe is possible for you. Intentionally changing that, right, so that it serves you instead of, which I guarantee that there are things inside you right now in that little head of yours that are holding you back, that are making you play small. Right? So why is identity shifting important? Your identity creates your reality. So let's zoom out and take a look at reality right now. If absolutely everything in your life is perfect, cheers to you. Maybe you should start a YouTube channel and start doing videos. But, you know, and I'm not saying that everything in my life is perfect. Trust me, I'm a work in progress. I always claim that. But take a look at your life, and where would you want to be better? Where would you like to make improvements, right? And the next thing is, why haven't you made those already, right? It's because if we peel back, there's a belief somewhere inside of that little head of yours that either you don't deserve it, you can't do it, you know, there's something there. But that's what we're going to work on, because your identity creates your reality. And the point I'm making here is that you choose your identity. You choose to be a victim. You choose to be a victor. You choose to empower yourself. You choose to blame and put it on somebody else. That scarcity or lack. Like it's all in your head. And if this is triggering you a little bit, that's good. Keep watching, because we're gonna work on this today. So, okay, so when it comes to identity shifting, you know, or self-concept, there's two main ways. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones, but two main ways to change it. Number one is grind it out. Welcome to hustle culture and grind, you know, you got to do it. And that's where you implement the habits, you force yourself to do things, and that ends up, out of those habits, it ends up shifting your identity and who you believe you are, what's possible for you. And that's kind of the mentality that I took in my bodybuilding when I was in natural bodybuilding shows. And what happened was I believed that I was the chubby guy in grade 4. Right? Going from 255, that's how much I weighed. And I ended up in 6 months dropping down to 168 and being on stage. I ended up doing pretty well in that show. But the point right after that, I ballooned right back up. I remember standing at 168 pounds, looking in the mirror going, well, I look good. I look great right now, but how long is it going to last? Because I hadn't shifted my identity yet. And I kept going up and down and up and down. And so the problem with grinding the process is that if you don't do the work or your identity doesn't shift, you're going to go right back to where you started. Sound familiar? Relationships, things like that. Yeah. Okay, so the other way, which is what we're going to lean on today, and I encourage you to move into, is that alignment change, where your identity ends up shifting your habits. Right? And I'm going to reference a video. It's about deciding to change, making the decision that that's who you are and moving forward from there. But this video is a result of that kind of getting into some details on how to shift that identity. So it's about being in flow. It's being aligned with who you actually want to be and are, and moving into that. So a great example of this is in the book Atomic Habits, James Clear. I think it's actually back here somewhere, or I lent it to someone. I don't know. So, but it's a great book, and there's an example in there where he says that if you ask a person, you can see if their identity has shifted. And he uses the example of a smoker, someone that's stopping smoking. And he said, if you ask someone if they want a cigarette, someone who's stopping smoking, if their answer says, oh, no, I don't want one right now because I'm trying to quit, that person still believes they're a smoker. And they're just not taking you up on your offer for the cigarette in that moment. Where you know their identity shifted is where the person says, no thanks, I don't smoke. See the catch? A great example from James Clear. Cheers to you, James, for bringing that out in the book. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So there's 3 main steps, right? 3 big things we need to do in shifting identity. Number 1 is getting clear on who you want to become. What does the best version of you look like? And this can evolve. It should evolve as you go through the process, right? But I encourage you in this, use your imagination. Think bigger than big. Your goals and dreams and what you think is possible for you, people should think you're crazy when it comes back to this. All right? So that's what it is. Big, bigger, even bigger. And then go with specifics. Don't say, I want to be skinnier. Don't say I want to be more muscular. Don't just say I want to be rich. I want to, we're like all these different generalities, right? It's about being specific. I want to, whatever, bench this many pounds. I want to be able to run this far. I want to have this much money, I want to make this much money a month on a regular basis. I want to have this much in the bank. I want to be in a relationship that looks like this, and describing that relationship, what it looks like with your specific person, or what that looks like on every detail, mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, what does that look like for you? And actually get super clear on it. That's step 1. Okay, number 2 is, and we've heard of this before, right? You can't, if you make the analogy of you want to go on vacation. If you want to go on vacation physically to another place, you need to leave your house. You need to leave your home. So if you want to get to the new version of you, that best version of you, in order to shift into that identity, you need to leave the old identity behind. And there's a lot of terms and ways to define that, and people describe it, but you got to let go right now. And there's more than just, oh, okay, I'll leave it behind. But there's a lot involved with that. It's about healing from the past. It's about learning what you need to learn to become that person. Growing. In what areas do you need to grow? Whether that's emotionally, mentally, physically. Like those, what does that be? It's about, it could be new relationships. It could be, or this could be in your current relationship. Right? A current relationship. How do I want to show up in my relationship as the person I want to be? Now, this could be, you could be in a relationship that you've been in for the last 10 years. And you decide, I want to show up different as a husband. I want to show up different as a boyfriend. Or for the ladies watching the channel, I want to show up different as a wife or a girlfriend, like whatever. So I want to show up different. You can do that. Right? Have a quick heads up to your significant other and say, hey, you know what? I want to make some changes. I think that I can be better, so you're gonna see me moving a little bit different. Let me know what you think. And getting into that. So you can change your relationships. If you're single and you're not in a relationship and you wanna be, it's about moving in that energy, being love and moving in the energy of love. You don't have to be in a relationship to experience love. Right? So there's that. Finances. Right? You can make changes in your finances. Right? It's about becoming in that energy. Right? If you want to invest, do you need to invest $2.3 billion in your first investment? No. You can invest $10, $5, $1, whatever. But as soon as you do that, you are an investor, and it shifts how you move, all right? And your health and fitness, right? Do you need to be jacked and ripped and being in CrossFit competitions and bodybuilding shows? No, you don't. No, you don't. All you need to do is drink more water, take the stairs, park a little further away from the door, walk a little bit. It's all part of that, right? Those are those little steps, right? And so you may need, but in order to do that, you're gonna have to let go of things. Number one is especially your stories. The old stories about why you can't accomplish what you want to accomplish, why you're not who you want to be, right? Those, and you may need to leave some of those experiences that aren't serving you in the past. I mean, it's a proven fact. Science has proved it and shows that your physiology, your body can't tell the difference between what it's living in real life or what you're remembering or what you're worried about in the future, right? They hook you up with all kinds of probes and monitors and your brain physiology and your body responds different. That's how, if I can tell you right now, describe a situation that scared the hell out of you, you're going to shift. You're going to feel that, right? And the same thing works. If there's an experience that you're saying right now, and there's a story that Abraham Hicks tells about someone that was up on stage at one of the conferences that they had, and this lady was describing about she went through a divorce, and she was describing how her ex-husband did this, and he was this, and he was this, and he's this, and this, and this, and she says, okay, how long have you been divorced? And she said it was like 22 years ago or something, 25 years ago. But the thing is, as I experienced it, it switches your physiology. Every time you tell that story, it brings it with you and it changes your physiology and what you believe is possible, what you believe has been done to you in that victim state, and why you're not moving on, why you can't do this and this. So that's what I mean, that you're gonna have to give up some of your stories. Right? And even better in those experiences, like in giving some of those up, and you might be giving up some people too, right? Let's get real. But the great thing about that is, and like I said, even better than just giving them up, is flip them. So how did the worst thing, something that you feel is the worst thing that ever happened in your life, how is that worst thing? How could it be the best thing that ever happened to you? Right? That diagnosis from the doctor, that breakup, that divorce, that bankruptcy, that investment that went south, like whatever it is. How could that be the best thing that ever happened to you? Because you get to choose, and that's the beauty of it. So that's part two. You're gonna have to let some shit go, man. That's what it is. All right, number three is you must actually shift into that, and this is where I'll reference it below in the notes. There's a video about deciding who you want to be and never looking back. Right? It's about living in the wish fulfilled. It's becoming that person. I'm not talking about, there's so many times people talk about fake it till you make it, right? But that there's an energetic element to that really doesn't vibe with me, right? It's because you know that you're lying to yourself, but you don't actually lie to yourself. When you decide that's who you want to be, and you are the energy that you want to attract, you are the person you want to be. You think like that. And I'm going to share some tools at the end of this video that you can use. But when you actually are that, you move different. You think different. People treat you different. The world changes. Believe it. I'm telling you. I'm living it. Right? So if you're, and you go back to the James Clear example about the smoker. Decide that you're a non-smoker and just don't smoke anymore. What does a smoker do? They go outside for smoke breaks. They do this. They hang over that. And if you don't smoke, you don't do it. So stop doing it. But it's about filling that with something else healthy that serves you. Well, maybe you read instead of smoking. Maybe you, exercise, whatever. But there's things like that. And I mean, and just like what I'm doing here, right? I tell you, this is a great example. I'm a work in progress, living proof that as a YouTuber, am I a person that throws up the odd video here and there and hopes one day that I'll be able to impact people? No. I know that these videos, because of the DMs that I get and the comments on some of them and the community that we're building, are having an impact and they're serving people. I got a text this past week from someone that reached out and said, hey, I watch your videos. We watch them every week. And it means a lot to me. It got me through some really rough times and some challenging times. And I'm really grateful for you. So I know that I'm making an impact. And do I want to grow that? Hell yes. As I've shared before, my personal mission statement is positive global impact through exploiting my gifts in the service of others. And that's what I'm doing here. And I'm scaling it to that global level because I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a guy just throwing up random videos. So that's what this is all about, right? And then speak the story you want to live. Do not say anything contrary to what you want your goals to be. Your words are super powerful, and there's videos that I have on that as well. You can go into the mindset and manifesting playlists that I have on the thing. Because I mean, at the end of the day, and so as you're embracing those roles and you embody them, the key is that you feel how you're going to feel with that, right? Neville Goddard talks about that. Living in the Wish Fulfilled. Abraham Hicks, The Feeling is the Secret. Jim Carrey is a great example about that. Like, his energy, like he would, and we all know the story about how he wrote himself a check for acting services rendered, but he would drive up onto Mulholland Drive and he would say, this is the road. My house is on this road. I'm driving home right now on Mulholland Drive. And he would drive up there. And so some of the little things that you can do, right? If it's a fitness thing and you're just getting started exercising, when you're at the bottom of the stairway, stop for a second, close your eyes, and envision yourself that you're running up and down those stairs and you just finished. Even if you know that's not happening today, but envision it, right? Finances. What does it look like when you pay off all the bills that you have? Or maybe when you have investments that have done really well and you're able to serve and support people that you love and charities and being philanthropic. Holy, how come I couldn't say that? But you're, embracing that philanthropy and doing good in the world. You can only do that when you're thriving, right? So that's what it's all about. Envision what that feels like. And that's the energy that you want to move in. That's what it is, right? And I mean, even me personally, right? There's goals that I have and things. I mean, I am so grateful for everything in my life. There's no question. My home, my friends, my family, relationships, like absolutely everything. But even a little thing for me is I do have a dream house and not in it right now. Super grateful for the home that I have. But every time I open my front door, and if you could put a camera in my front door and watch me, every time I open my front door, I unlock it, and I close my eyes, I open it up, and my first head scan, when I walk through the door, and I see my dream house. I see exactly how everything's laid out. And one day, very soon, I will walk through my front door, and I'll see exactly that without closing my eyes. And we'll come back to this video and I'll share that with you. So, but that's what it's all about, right? And so when we're talking about those little things too, now energetically is so important. So it's about the steps that you can take that are going to put you in that positive vibe, that energy, right? As Tesla quoted, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So if you think about something and it's just way too far off for you and it feels negative, maybe you're 500 pounds and your goal is to be 150 pounds and run a marathon. To say, I'm running a marathon today. If that doesn't sit with you, maybe that's a little far. So how you got to back it off a bit. So you need to back it off to the point where it does feel good to you. So I'm getting healthier, right? Just like I use the investment thing. If it's like, I'm a billionaire, but you're not a billionaire. Well, then what can you be? I'm a saver and save $1, right? Whatever that is, right? I'm in a healthy, loving relationship. If you're not in, or maybe you want to be, I'm married and describe the story of what that is for you, but you're not married yet. So, and it's like, well, I'm not married. So what does that look like? So if that's your goal, but maybe it's like, I'm closer and closer every day to being in that loving relationship that I can show up how I want to show up and they show up how they want to show up. I don't know, but that's the key. And if you want any support with this stuff, by all means, reach out to me, right? I have one-on-one spots available. I would love to have a conversation with you and see if we're a good fit. But it's about backing it off till it feels good, and then that's the energy that you move in. Okay, it's kind of like progressive step going up the stairs, right? You don't jump from the bottom right to the top. You got to one step at a time. So as you get closer, but push the limits. and go as far as you can with those visualizations or that concept, so that you are actually making progress. Okay, and so this one too, again with this shift, Tony Robbins has a great quote, which I love Tony and his concepts and everything. Like, he's so brilliant. But his quote is, if you want to take the island, then burn your boats. Right? Giving up your old stories, that old person, because it's like, if you want to take the island, then burn your boats. With absolute commitment come the insights that create real victory. And that's what it is. Decide that's who you're going to be and be that person. When you pursue excellence, excellence pursues you. You cannot avoid that coming into your life if you decide that that's how it's going to be for you. So some of the tools you can use, and again, look in the mindset and manifestation playlists that I have. There's I've chatted about a number of these, and if you want more information on them, you can put in the comments below. I can redo videos and some new concepts and stuff about them. But visualization, right? During the day and at night, state akin to sleep, right before you go to sleep, and different tools you can use and practices for that. Affirmations, ask-formations, working on your belief systems of what you do believe, knocking down limiting beliefs and why you think that, where those came from, things about, in addition to those, like all of those systems. But the key here is consistency. Like that quote I just shared, burn the boats every day. Because if it's just for 5 minutes, you're going to sit and think, oh yeah, I am healthy, I am making progress, and then for the other 23 hours and 55 minutes of the day, you're telling crap stories to yourself and talking shit and spending time in that negative energy. It's going to take you a while to get to where you want to be. So it's about being consistent, right? And stepping into that. Again, I would love to support you with that. So what is it for you? If you'd like, you can share in the comments or send me a message. I'd love to hear and support you on your journey, right? What do you want to change? What is that shift that you want to make? Relationships, health and fitness, finances, overall, just everything. Maybe it's in how you see yourself, right? The story you tell yourself when you're going to sleep at night. Nobody likes me. There's not this. I can't do this. That's a shift, right? That we can work on and we can get into. So dig into it. All right? I'd love for you to use this info, and there's a number of ways that I can support you with it. One-on-one coaching is what I mentioned. I have a monthly, the Coaching Collective meets. It's a group coaching call at the end, once a month. Last Wednesday of each month, we get together. We go through just kind of hot seat coaching, right? And a lot of times people in there, they ask the questions, other people like, I was going to ask that question and stuff. So it's a really cool experience. So you can look on my website or just DM me for information about that. Man to Man is a great experience where guys can actually get together and talk real talk. We talk about things that guys need to know about, improving relationships, not just romantic relationships, but with friends and family and kids and siblings, and also just, in your confidence, building confidence as a man moving forward. And I'll tell you what, most men, before they think about getting into Man to Man, oh, I don't need that. No, I don't need that. It's like, but trust me, everybody that goes in it says, I should have done this years ago. And it is designed of what I needed before I dove into development and, growth and actually took some accountability on my own. It's like, what were the things that I needed back then that really would have supported me moving forward? And that's what Man to Man's all about. So I encourage you to, that's got you curious, or ladies that are watching this, if you know a guy that could use that, there's a why men need Man to Man. There's a video that I can in the playlist below as well. But DM me, I'd love to have those conversations. So thank you for sharing a few minutes with me today. You can like the video if you found value in it. Subscribe to the channel. You can share it with people if you think that you know someone that could find value in this as well. I am, again, so grateful for your support as I'm on this journey and growth and becoming the best version of me, and trying to share some stories and lessons that I've learned along the way to exponentially shorten that time that you're in the storm, right? And struggling with things that you can just get through and get to kicking ass and taking names, because that's what this is all about. So I encourage you to keep the momentum going with the video that's popping up on the screen right now. If I can figure out how to put the decide who you want to be and be it, that's the one that's going to come up right now. But otherwise, if it's not, it's going to be on mindset, motivation, or manifesting. So I encourage you to check that out. And so in closing, as always, I am grateful for you. And until the next video, sending peace, love, and positive vibes your way.